I would rather be in the cycle where people are underestimating us. It gives us latitude to go out and make big bets that excite and amaze people. Move fast and break things. Unless you are breaking stuff, you are not moving fast enough. I think a simple rule of business is, if you do the things that are easier first, then you can actually make a lot of progress. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. The question I ask myself like almost every day is, am I doing the most important thing I could be doing? We look for people who are passionate about something. In a way, it almost doesn't matter what you're passionate about. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. Don't discount yourself, no matter what you're doing. Everyone has a unique perspective that they can bring to the world. People developed planes first and then took care of flight safety. If people were focused on safety first, no one would ever have built a plane. I think a simple rule of business is, if you do the things that are easier first, then you can actually make a lot of progress. If you don't risk anything, you risk everything. If things aren't breaking, then you're not moving fast enough. People learn by making mistakes. If things aren't breaking, then you're not moving fast enough. People learn by making mistakes. When you want to change things, you can't please everyone. If you do please everyone, you aren't making enough progress. People think innovation is just having a good idea, but a lot of it is just moving quickly and trying a lot of things. What Facebook stands for in the world is giving people a voice and spreading ideas and rationalism. I like to show an improved product rather than just talk about things we might do. The hacker way is an approach to building that involves continuous improvement and iteration. Hackers believe that something can always be better and that nothing is ever complete. Every application will be designed from the ground up to use real identity and friends. The question I ask myself like almost every day is, am I doing the most important thing I could be doing? Unless I feel like I'm working on the most important problem that I can help with, then I'm not going to feel good about how I'm spending my time. And that's what this company is. If you actually do something you love, it's a lot easier and takes on a lot more purpose. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that's changing really quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. Move fast, take risks. It's okay to try big things. You're better off trying something and having it not work and learning from that than having not done anything at all. My number one piece of advice is, you should learn how to program. Find that thing you are super passionate about. If we want to have the biggest impact, the best way to do this is to make sure we always focus on solving the most important problems. People influence people. Nothing influences people more than a recommendation from a trusted friend. A trusted referral influences people more than the best broadcast message. A trusted referral is the holy grail of advertising. The trick isn't adding stuff, it's taking away. You grow more when you get more people's perspective. Move fast and break things. Unless you are breaking stuff, you are not moving fast enough. My goal was never to just create a company. A lot of people misinterpret that as if I don't care about revenue or profit or any of those things. But what not being just a company means to me is not being just that, building something that actually makes a really big change in the world. Having two identities for yourself is an example of a lack of integrity. I would only hire someone to work directly for me if I was willing to work for that person. The most important thing is to keep your team as small as possible. I'm trying to make the world a more open place by helping people connect and share. Helping 1 billion people connect is amazing, humbling, and by far the thing I am most proud of in my life. By giving people the power to share, we're making the world more transparent. Books allow you to fully explore a topic and immerse yourself in a deeper way than most media today. I'm looking forward to shifting more of my media diet towards reading books. In a world that's changing so quickly, you're guaranteed to fail if you don't take any risks. Simply put, we don't build services to make money. We make money to build better services. Building a mission and building a business go hand in hand. Don't discount yourself, no matter what you're doing. I'm here to build something for the long term. Anything else is a distraction. Almost any mistake you can make in running a company, I've probably made. There is a huge need and a huge opportunity to get everyone in the world connected, to give everyone a voice, and to help transform society for the future. The scale of the technology and infrastructure that must be built is unprecedented, and we believe this is the most important problem we can focus on. I got my first computer in the 6th grade or so. As soon as I got it, I was interested in finding out how it worked and how the programs worked, and then figuring out how to write programs at just deeper and deeper levels within the system. If you just work on stuff that you like and you're passionate about, you don't have to have a master plan with how things will play out. It is important for young entrepreneurs to be adequately self-aware to know what they do not know. I think that people just have this core desire to express who they are, and I think that's always existed. There's a difference between being obsessed and being motivated. The companies that work are the ones that people really care about and have a vision for the world, so do something you like. Companies face a handful of different risks, whether it is competitors or different market environments. But I think that people focus way too much on competitors and not enough on their own execution. Our mission is to make the world more open and connected. We do this by giving people the power to share whatever they want and be connected to whoever they want, no matter where they are. I started the site when I was 19. I didn't know much about business back then. All of my friends who have younger siblings who are going to college or high school, my number one piece of advice is, you should learn how to program. People don't care about what someone says about you in a movie or even what you say, right? They care about what you build. I think as a company, if you can get two things right, having a clear direction on what you are trying to do and bringing in great people who can execute on the stuff, then you can do pretty well. A squirrel dying in front of your house may be more relevant to your interests right now than people dying in Africa. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. I think a simple rule of business is, if you do the things that are easier first, then you can actually make a lot of progress. The question I ask myself like almost every day is, am I doing the most important thing I could be doing? People can be really smart or have skills that are directly applicable, but if they don't really believe in it, then they are not going to really work hard. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. We look for people who are passionate about something. In a way, it almost doesn't matter what you're passionate about. The biggest risk is not taking any risk. In a world that is changing quickly, the only strategy that is guaranteed to fail is not taking risks. The journey is 1% finished. There are people who are really good managers, people who can manage a big organization, and then there are people who are very analytic or focused on strategy. Those two types don't usually tend to be in the same person. I would put myself much more in the latter camp. Virtual reality is going to be an important technology. I am pretty confident about this. Facebook is shaping a broader web. If you look back for the past 5 or 7 years, the story about social networking has really been about getting people connected. But if you look forward for the next 5 years, I think that the story people are going to remember 5 years from now isn't how this one site was built. It is how every single service that you use is now going to be better with your friends. I know it sounds corny, but I'd love to improve people's lives, especially socially. Making the world more open is not an overnight thing. It's a 10 to 15 year thing. I think there's confusion around what the point of social networks is. A lot of different companies characterized as social networks have different goals. Some serve the function of business networking, some are media portals. What we're trying to do is just make it really efficient for people to communicate, get information, and share information.